Algebra 1, Power of Algebra. Why do we use algebra to solve problems? Today, the subject is what's good about using algebra. Okay, this is for the student who already learned unknown value in the previous lecture and also practice enough to solve for x, which is unknown value. Okay, why do we do that? Here we show you why algebra is useful. We show you the example of the problem solving without algebra, so you get the feeling why algebra is very useful. Understanding algebra. How can we use the algebraic method for solving problems? Okay, we solve the math problem without algebraic method. This is very challenging for some problem. You will see in the example below. We show you how to solve the same problem using algebraic method. We show you how to solve the same problem using algebraic method. It's become very simple and systematic way to solve the problem. Okay, so this is the power of algebraic method. That's what we are going to learn here. Hope you get the feeling about why algebra is very useful. Say, problem 1. We have a number. You double it and subtract 6. Then it comes back to the same number. What is the number you started with? Okay. So, you double it and subtract 6. Then it comes back to the same number. So, what is the number you started with? How do you solve this problem? It's tricky, isn't it? You ask this your parents or anybody. I bet they have to think sometime very long time to solve this. Okay, you double it and subtract 6. Then it's come back to the same number. Well, here's how you solve it without algebra, non-algebraic solution. Okay, the increased quantity by doubling is same as 6. Do you get that? You double it and subtract 6, come back the same. So number you increase must be 6. You get that? So you have something, you double it and subtract 6, then come back to the same number. Then this must be 6. You know, you have to get it. Sometimes it's hard, right? Okay, let's use algebraic method. Okay, algebraic method means using unknown value x. So you starting number x, so you double it, so 2x and subtract 6 equals same number x, original number. Okay, so what you do is you subtract x from both sides. Remember principle of equivalency, right? Then this becomes 0 and this side become 2x minus x minus 6, right? X minus 6 is 0. Well, if you practice enough, you can just move x to this side and change the sign. So you can say 2x minus 6 minus x equals 0 because we moved the x to this side and change the sign, remember? So result is the same. It's going to be x minus 6 equals 0. Well, you move this, x equals 6, right? So solving is easy because you just make an algebraic equation and solve it. And solving is kind of mechanical. You get that. Okay? You don't need insight like this. You have to think very carefully. You double it and minus 6 come back to the same. So doubling the quantity increase must be 6. So original is 6. Yeah, you can solve it like that, but much harder. You know, you need the insight like light bulb moment. But algebraic method, easy. Okay, you want to know what x is, just make an equation and solve the equation. You get x. So, I hope you get the feeling why algebra is powerful. Okay, the algebra makes the problem solving so easy. Well, you're not convinced? Okay, let's look at the second example. Right? Here, A and B are separated by 20 miles. A start walking toward B at 3 miles per hour. B start moving toward A by bicycle at 7 miles per hour. How far will A walk before meeting B? Okay, let's break it down. A and B are separated by 20 miles. Okay, and A start moving at 3 miles per hour. B start moving at 7 miles per hour. Okay, so before you start learning algebra, say elementary school, middle school, or before the last year of middle school, depend on which school you are, this kind of problem is very difficult to solve, right? Why is it difficult? Well, think about it. If you don't know algebra, how do you solve this problem? Well, even college student probably don't know how to solve this problem without using algebra. They are college student now because you learned algebra. So you know how they solve this. The high school student, for sure, they know how to solve this, but using algebra. If you tell them, solve it without using algebra, it's not that easy. Okay? The way you think about is, each hour they get close by 3 miles and 7 miles, totals 10 miles. Right? Each hour they get closer by 10 miles. So, in order to meet them, how many hours it takes? Total 20 miles. So 2 hours to meet each other, right? If 2 hours it takes to meet for A and B to meet somewhere, probably here, B is faster, 2 hours, then this distance must be 3 times 2, 6 miles. Okay, so answer is A and B will meet at the 6 miles away from the point A. Okay, that's how you solve without algebra. Is it easy? But the first, you have to notice this. This is not that easy. The beginning of the problem, how to solve it, you have to think very carefully and get the insight. Oh, I see. Every hour, they get closer by 3 plus 7 miles per hour. So, in order to get both of them meet, takes 2 hours. Okay? So, that's a thinking process to solve this problem. Well, let's use algebra, see how quick we can solve this problem. Okay? Here you go. So, what we do is A will take x miles before meeting B. This is x is unknown value. So, the A, the same amount of time passes when they meet. That means x miles A walk divided by 3 is the time it takes to meet each other, which is 20 minus x. The remaining divided by 7, because B is moving at 7, A is moving at the speed of 3 miles per hour. So if you know the distance x here, then distance divided by speed and distance divided by speed should be equal, right? Okay. Then what you do is here, remember divide become multiply on this side. So 7 divide become multiply, and 20 minus x become multiply. I move the 3 to this side. I move the 7 to this side. Okay? So if you don't get this part, you have to go back and practice how to solve the algebra equation. Now, this one is going to be 60 minus 3x. And this is going to be 7x. Okay? So move this one over here. But you need to change the sign, remember? 7 plus 3x equals 60. Here you go. Then 10x equals 60. So x equals 6 miles. Here you go. You solved it. So just stick to the basic equation. Distance over speed is time, and make this equation, right? And which is reasonable because you just stick to the basic, right? You don't have to come up with the idea of what is the total speed by both A and B. This needs an inspiration. But this one, you just stick to the basic and make an equation. So which is easier to solve this problem? With algebra or without algebra? Okay. You're not convinced yet? Fine. Let's look at the next problem. Now, this is my favorite problem, okay? This problem is given to the 6th grade of elementary school in Japan before they graduate, before they learned algebra. Okay? So, turtles and birds are in a pond. A child counted the total number of heads and got 24. He also counted the number of legs and got 68. How many turtles are in the pond? To tell you the truth, this is the hard problem without algebra. How do you approach this problem? Think carefully, okay? You have a pond, and you have a turtle, 4 legs turtle, and you have birds standing with 2 legs. Okay? You have many turtle, you have many birds. You count the head, 1, 2, all together is 24. You count legs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so and so, then 68. So, how do you solve this problem? Any idea? I tell you what, most of adult cannot solve this problem. They don't remember how they did it, or they never did. This is a hard problem if you don't know algebra. And they give this kind of problem before learning algebra. I remember in Japan, this is kind of traditional question they give before graduating elementary school. How do they do that? 24 head, 68 legs. 24 head, 68 legs. How many turtle in the pond? The question is, how many turtle are in the pond? Okay. Now, should I give you a little bit time here? Well, video is rolling, so you can stop the video and think about how to solve it. But we move on. How do you solve it without a non-algebraic method? Okay. When we assume there are only birds in the pond, this is the key. You need insight, inspiration. Hey, let's assume only birds, okay? The 24 heads means 48 legs. But the child counted, got 68 legs. What's wrong? Because some of them are not birds. So how many the child undercounted here? Okay, 68 minus 48, right? But you think about the reason why you got more legs is some of them are not birds, it's turtle. And turtle has 4 legs, and the birds has 2 legs. Each one you count wrong, 2 legs you're undercounting. So you divide this by 2, that give you the number of undercounted turtle. So answer is 68 minus 48 is 20 over 2, 10. You must have a 10 turtle in order to have 68 legs. You get that? Well, if you don't get it, you can repeat this part of the video, okay? And think about it carefully. Okay. How you solve it algebraically. In algebra, what is unknown value? Number of turtle x, right? So birds is 24 minus x for sure, right? And turtle has 4 legs and birds has 2 legs. Okay, so 4x plus 2, 24 minus x equals total number of legs. Got it? It's so easy. Then what is x? You just solved this problem. Okay, so 4x, you put this one, minus 2x plus 48 equals 68. Move this one here, minus 48, right? Negative. And this is 2x, 20. X is 20. Move this 2 over here, become division, 10. How's that? You just solve the equation. You get the answer. So solving problems by algebraic method is a systematic way to solve. Why is it systematic? Because you just construct the equation and solve it. Just assume the unknown value x and construct the equation. The remaining is to solve it. You just calculate for x, then you get the answer. Non-algebraic solution require a special idea to solve each problem. Each problem you need insight, inspiration. Okay? So that's the difference between algebraic method and non-algebraic method. Algebra provides you the tool. It's kind of mathematical tool to solve the problem. So using algebra, most of the problem can be solved pretty much in the same way. This is the power of algebra. Okay? So you have to understand this. The reason why you learn algebra, because you become powerful to solve all kind of problem. In the future, you become engineer or physicist or even accountant, many kind of professional. You encounter the problem and you know how to solve it because you know algebra. And that's the reason you learn algebra. Okay? And in order to make algebra more powerful, you will learn a lot of more new stuff you can use in Algebra II, and solving equation become more difficult later because equation they will introduce the little bit different unknown value, like the curves, slopes, the area. What is the area of this surrounded by curves stuff? How do you solve that? That's become calculus. That's the end of high school. Okay, the senior in high school you learn calculus. It's all the way Algebra I, Algebra II, and calculus all connected. So this is the first important step to learn the basic of algebra, how to solve the problem using algebra. Then math is all same until you finish high school. It's just adding more power to solve the problem. Okay? I hope you got the basic idea of the algebra here. and you have to start enjoying solving math problem. And that's the power you acquire here from algebra. I hope you enjoyed this video and keep going. Thank you for listening.